Steady go. Good afternoon. Happy 6th of March. Happy Wednesday, everyone. And we're just, I suppose, into the middle of spring, or we're definitely into spring. And it's time to update them hall doors. I'm telling you that you need to have your hall door updated with your spring wreath, because I have to say my hall door is badly crying out for one. So first of all, to get this started, who's watching and where are you watching in from? And actually I do have a giveaway for today. I'm just wondering where I put it, but I can see it there on the right hand side. Yeah, I can see where it is. This is going to be a Mother's Day giveaway, but you can just keep it for yourself, and you can even give it to somebody who's not a mother, okay? So there is a company, so you have to package it up nicely yourself, right? There's a company in Ireland called O'Neill's Flowers. You always hear me talking about them. Somebody might put that in the comments, okay? They're based in Carlingford, County Louth. They sell most of the sundry products that I use as part of my free demonstration classes. They sell all of them products. You don't have to be in the trade. Their prices all include VAT. Their prices are all wholesale, and they ship to the UK as well as all parts of Ireland. And recently, when I was away, they sent out one of their flower pressing kits, okay? But we just never got around to using it. But all the materials are here, all the screws for putting it together, all the instructions, everything is there. You just have to package it up nicely. Now, they're selling these, okay? Now, I think they're selling them for around €17. $17.99. In around that price. I have seen these in a fancy little packaged bag and packaged box and a little bit of fancy wrapping paper for over €55, okay? So this is a bargain, and I'm going to give it away for free because I never got around to demonstrate or use it. How are we going to work out who the winner is going to be, Deirdre?
Jesus, I forgot about that.
I don't know. Think of a question. What was the baby Jesus' mother's name? That's a really easy one, isn't it? I think we'll go for that. I think we'll be a little bit religious today. So our question today is, what was baby Jesus' Mammy's name? Okay, so there's a nice Mother's Day question, and nobody's going to get emotional about it, you know, that way. And you know, in case their mum is not there or whatever, they're not going to get emotional about it. It's going to cover everybody. And even if you're in a different religion and the baby Jesus had a different name, to throw it in the pot anyway, and we'll fish out a winner later on. So first of all, I need to know, where's everybody watching from? What's the weather like? Have to say, it's cold in Dublin. The sun is trying to get out. It's not raining at the moment, so it's not really shite. It's kind of shite.
Well, it's
not
really that bad. Because Siobhan is in there from
Kerry. Hey Siobhan, how are you? How are you? So what I'm going to use today is, I have some silk flowers as well, so I'll have to try and rush this along to make sure I get everything covered in. For my base, I can either use one of these straw bases, and this is from from O'Neill's Flowers. They actually make up these straw bases themselves, and they have them in all different sizes, and they're very, very reasonably priced. But they also sell these twig bases. So again, O'Neill's, who's the sponsor of the present today, the prize, okay, the giveaway, for all you have to do is remember, what was baby Jesus' Mammy's name? Put it in the comments, okay, or anything else that you want to add to it, because you never know. Mary Magdalene could have been in there as well on it, do you know what I mean? So it could be anybody, you know. The options are open. Listen, we're very open-minded here at Kay's Flower School. So I think I might use this white base, will I, for a change? Yeah. I've used the straw bases before, but you can use the straw base if you want.
Janette, there's loads of questions coming in.
Okay.
Well, are not questions, but they're all welcome back. Great to see you back on the screen.
Oh, thanks a million. I'm absolutely fine. I still have the passion killers on. Whoops, Jesus. I'm nearly falling over there. Still have the passion killers on, the Nora Batty tights. Swelling is definitely going down, so it's definitely improving. It is getting there on the blood thinners. But listen, a huge thanks to all the love and support. I have to say, because obviously this happened to me when I was over in Lanzarote. Anybody that's new that's watching, I actually got 3 blood clots. One in my stomach, one in the top of my thigh, and one at the back of my calf, or somewhere down around that area. And when I say I knew nothing about blood clots, nothing about deep vein thrombosis or DVT, I hadn't a clue. I didn't know the signs. I was going around for 3 days, literally crippled with pain and swelling, and I hadn't a clue what was wrong with my leg until I went to the hospital. But I have to say, the fantastic support and comments that I got from not just even students, followers, like people that were saying they'd been watching me during COVID and obviously were still there, you know, in the pipeline, and people who were nurses or doctors or that had experience of them themselves. I didn't realise you can actually get it in your arm as well, and obviously it can get serious. I was really, really lucky. But listen, all the support they were telling me about the support tights, which was one of the first things I went out, and I have to say, anybody out there with swelling in their legs, go and get a pair of Norabati Passion Killers, because I have to say they are amazing. They don't look great, you know, that way, but they definitely are amazing for the swelling and the pain. Anyway, I better get back to my read. So this is the base I'm going to use, and this is the roll of real wire or mossing wire, and again you can buy that in from O'Neill's Flowers. And to attach it on, I'm just going to wrap it around in the same spot 2 or 3 or 4 times, just to kind of get it gripped on. Now obviously when I'm demonstrating this today, anybody at all that has any questions, you know, that way, put them in the comments and Deirdre will shout it out. And again, remember, we have a giveaway today for a flower presser, so you can press all your own dried flowers. Do you remember years ago we used to have to put them between 2 sheets of greaseproof paper, in between the Bible, see we're being religious today, in between the Bible or the cookery book or the porn book, underneath the mattress of the bed. Sleep on it for 6 months. Mattress normally wet and mouldy, because that happened to me one time. I was pressing flowers under the mattress, and then we had our dried pressed flowers. Where nowadays, Oasis, the floral company, has brought out this very professional flower presser. O'Neill's Flowers are selling them. I think it's in around €17, but like these retail around 50-55 euros, all packaged up nicely. We just didn't have time to package our one up nicely. But listen, this can be a gift for yourself, a gift to your mum, your L1, your nanny, your granny, your auntie, or just listen, keep it for yourself. And to win that prize, or to be in with a chance to win the prize, we decided at the beginning of this live class that the question was going to be, what was or is the baby Jesus's, what was his mammy's name? So put that in the comments and we'll just randomly, this is a fun quiz, fun questionnaire. As I said, we might even pick the wrong name.
We might. Catherine says she used to use the phone book for pressing her flowers. Deborah says, oh God, that's terrible. How on earth would we manage about the main flower in the garden? Glad that you're back up and running.
Do you know, that's actually talking about that. Yesterday, Meta went down. Meta would be Facebook and Instagram. WhatsApp. They're all come under the name Meta. And yesterday, a lot of people, I thought I had been hacked, because suddenly my Facebook wasn't accessible, Instagram wasn't accessible. I was trying to log in. I needed my secret passwords. I was messaging Deirdre. She was at the dentist and she was saying, oh, I'll get you when I get home. I'll look them up for you, you know, that way. And it ended up that the system had actually went down. I hadn't been hacked, but seemingly thousands of people all over UK and Ireland, the exact same thing happened to them. And it made us aware, like, what if Facebook went down? What if Instagram went down? What if WhatsApp went down? At the end of the day, we don't own these social media platforms. They just give us the enjoyment for free to use these platforms, but we don't own them. So it's a bit like we'd be religious. What Jesus gives us, he can take back again. And that's the thing about social media. Who owns that place now?
What?
The Facebook.
Oh, Meta.
WhatsApp. Yeah, but your man's name.
Oh, Zuckerman. Is
he still in charge?
I think he is,
anyway, if your man Zuckerman decides, listen, I'm going to call it a day, feck yous all, you're not having Facebook anymore, and he's made his money and he doesn't give a shit about me, you, or anybody else, what would happen if social media went down tomorrow? How would you know how my leg is getting on? How would you know how Deirdre got on at the dentist? Or again, what's happening in the flowery world? What you need to make sure is that you're signed up to our mailing list. Because with your email address, we own our email address. With our website, we actually own our website. So at least then we have our backup. So our backup is being signed up to our mailing list. So put in the comments there, if you're not signed up, put in the comments the word link. Link for easies, yeah. Put the word link in the comments there, and what we'll do is tonight we'll get in and we'll respond to you and we'll put the link in so that you can sign up to our mailing list, that you'll be kept up to date on my leg. I'm only joking. But seriously, like, about our free classes. I have a free class coming on tonight, a foam free horizontal flower arrangement using chicken wire. So something that's a little bit different, a little bit unusual to what I have been showing you before. Now I better tell you what I'm doing here. So I'm starting off on the twig ring with some little bunches of foliage. So these are just, I have some rosemary, I have some escallonia, I have some, what's the one that gets the purple flower? Ceanothus, there's bits of laurel, there's bits of euonymus, there's little bits of everything, okay? I just wrapped a little bit of wire around the end of them. And what I'm doing is I'm placing them onto the ring, 45 degrees. See, I placed them on an angle. And then with the real wire that was attached already, I'm just wrapping the wire around it to hold it in place. Now I have 4 bunches on already. So now what I want to do to the inside there, see to the inside of the ring, I'm now just going to add in another little bunch. That one's falling apart. Just add in another little bunch. And you see the way it kind of covers the mechanics, and it makes it look that little bit chunkier. So I have 5 bunches in there already. So again, you're pulling that real wire nice and tight around the base. So you get your bunch, you place it on a 45-degree angle, and you wrap the wire around it 2 or 3 times. Leave a little bit of space, put on a second one, wrap the real wire around 2 or 3 times.
I see Tyler from TK Flor Design has tuned in there. So it's obviously very early in the morning where he is at the
Absolutely.
moment.
He could be only coming home. He's only a young fella, Janette, Deirdre.
That's true.
He's only a young fella, he is. He's probably only coming home, him and Randy, after having a great night out, probably pissed drunk and probably thinking, do you know what, we get a few hours kip before we get up and do their wedding orders or their Mother's Day orders for the next day. Is that true, Tyler? I have a young fella your age.
Morning, beautiful ladies. I just saw the post about our episode and I'm so excited. So if you don't know, on Monday at 9 o'clock, our new podcast is, he's in Texas with Sarah at the moment.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Tell Sarah we said hello. I'm following you on Instagram. Again, anybody that's not following Intrigue Designs, they're over in Texas. They're in Savannah the other day. They're literally traveling all over America doing really exclusive wedding events, decoration, like some amazing flowers, and obviously Tyler is there helping them out.
So I did an interview with Tyler about 3 or 4 weeks ago about, like, so to anybody that doesn't know Tyler, I don't know how you wouldn't know them, TK Flor Designs in New York, a luxury award-winning event and wedding florist. Like, his weddings are out of this world. So we had a really fun interview with him, and it's going live on the podcast on YouTube on Monday morning at 9 o'clock Irish time. So yeah, make sure to tune in. And actually, if you go over to YouTube after this live, you can click on it to get a reminder when it's going to go live, because it is up on YouTube
So
already.
put the word reminder in the comments, and what we'll do is we'll go along and we'll put the reminder link then for the podcast for YouTube for next Monday. So
Eileen says, just going to bed, and here you are, 11:20 over in Brisbane, Australia.
Oh, there you go. So the opposite sides of the world. So we have Tyler over in America.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
have Eileen in Australia only going to bed. Or do you know what? She's probably going out on the drink now,
She probably is,
She's
yeah.
probably has the glad rags on. She's her lipstick on, eyeshadow, hair all done. She's probably heading outwards. And there we have Tyler on the other side coming home bleary-eyed, straggling in, do you know what I mean? Clothes hanging off him, ready to hop into the bed. And look at all those Irish ones and the English ones, the UK. We're all in work, you know that way, breaking our backs, paying our tax, keeping the whole country going, keeping the whole world going. So again, as you can see, I'm just placing the pieces, the little bunches of foliages on a slant, and then every 3rd or 4th bunch then, I add a little bunch to the inside to finish off the mechanics or to hide the mechanics. Now just to show you at the back there, you can see the way by placing the material on that 45-degree angle, you see the way it comes out past our ring, and it just makes it that little bit bigger. And again, you could always stop at any stage and you could always add on a bow if you wanted, but I'm going to go the whole way around. So somebody's going to ask me, how many bunches did that take, Janette? And you know what I'm going to tell you to do? Rewind this video, because I've been chatting the whole way through it, and count all the bunches as I place them in, and then come back with the answer, and you never know, there could be a prize for you. How's the competition going?
Yeah, we have lots of them holy answers here at the moment. Holy moly. Deborah says she's sitting in her PJs, confined to the kitchen because she's lads there putting in new windows.
Oh, don't talk about windows, Eileen. I got new windows last week. I hope your man is listening. So I have 2 bay windows on the front of the house. They arrived. They took out the bedroom bay window upstairs. You know, the whole front of the house. It was just after the snow there last week. and they put in the bay window and realised, I don't know how many feet or inches or centimetres that they were short. So seemingly the gobshite, when he was measuring it, had measured that way instead of actually around the bay window. So at this stage the window was out, the snow was howling outside, so they had to put in the window, and then they had to do a bit of a makeshift job on it, obviously so that my toes wouldn't be cold at night time. So I'm now left with that the upstairs of the house has a bockety looking window in until they get new ones made, and the downstairs of the house has the old windows that have been in there 30 years, but they're completely different styles. And one of my students was coming to my house yesterday or the day before. Hazel, her name was. She's from County Kildare. She's probably watching. And she said to me, how will I know your house? And I says, oh, you know my house. I says, it's the only house in the cul-de-sac with 2 odd windows. So fair play to her, she did. She found me all right. So hopefully your windows are better, Eileen.
No, Deborah, that's Deborah getting the windows. Eileen's saying, so Eileen's in Australia. She says, if only you could see me, she's wearing her best nightie. Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm getting near the end here. So just to kind of show you as you get near the end, right? So you're still continually placing the material in on that 45-degree angle. But what happens is you have to try and kind of cover in that area there. So the easiest thing to do is lift up the first bunch that I started with, and then kind of like place the ends of these bunches, kind of like sneak them in underneath it. A bit like sliding your toes down under the duvet cover. Here's a Deborah, whoever's in bed. So slide your toes in there underneath the duvet cover to hide them. So again, I'm just at that stage there. But again, if anybody has any questions at all, just ask away there. There's no problem. Louisa said that she said she'd like to see it back. She said she couldn't believe that you got stuck over in Lanzarote.
But you know, it was a nice way getting stuck.
I actually think she was extracting the urine, I'll say. She says that she's actually been watching us since COVID. She says we've given her the bulk for flower arranging, and she's booked on to module 1 starting in April.
Brilliant! Oh, that is fantastic.
But she says she doesn't want to be a florist.
Doesn't want to be. That's it. It's gas. Like the amount of people who do module 1 who don't want to be a florist, who don't want to work in a flower shop, who don't want to do it as a job. They just want to do it for the enjoyment. And that is the great thing about module 1. It caters for people that are doing it as a hobby, doing it for fun, and then for anyone that wants to learn the commercial end of it. It's not like it's compulsory. They can then learn about the costing and the selling prices and the suppliers and the wholesalers, the treatment, the conditioning. Like the great thing about the course is you can do it at your own pace, and again you can choose what chapters of the course that you want to cover. For anybody going for certification, there obviously is compulsory parts of the course you have to do. And again, we send out all the flowers and all the materials for the compulsory part of the course. But again, anybody that wants to just do it for fun or for hobby or for just for the love of flowers, you'll still get all the flowers sent out to you. You can still do all the pieces, you know what I mean, at your own pace, etc. But again, you don't have to submit all the paperwork at the end of the programme for certification.
Viv Bradford says this week nobody in their right mind wants to be a florist.
No, this is it. Like one of the busiest weeks in the flower business, I have to say. As we say, they're up to their tits literally in flower shops. Smoke coming out of their backsides, sweeping brushes up their bums while they're making hand-tied bouquets. It's absolutely mental. So anybody that's passing by their local flower shop, pop in with a little tray of homemade cakes.
Yeah.
Pick them up in the local cake shop and bring them in and pretend that you made them. Or even a little tray of cups of teas, cup of coffees, toasted sandwiches, whatever it might be. Bring them in a little treat. They'll all be absolutely starving, and they'll be looking for that sugar rush, you know what I mean, to give them that kick in the bum. Now when you get to your last piece, okay, which I'm just on my last piece here, just looking for a small one, you'll always find to kind of like, if you insert that one vertical rather than actually on that 45-degree angle, and when you're bringing the wire around, do you see the way I'm wiggling the wire as I'm wrapping it around? So again, it's covering the joining up there at the top. But if I just came across with the wire and flattened it down, do you see the way I'd flatten all down pieces? So what I'm just kind of doing is wiggling the wire. What we call it here in Rialto is wiggling and wrangling. So wiggle the wire kind of in and out through the material, and then that's it all attached. So that's what the back of the ring looks like. You can see like the final size is obviously that little bit bigger than the original ring. And then what you can do is you can get your scissors, cut your real wire or your mossing wire off, and again attach it in around one of the previous pieces of wire that's already cut in around here at the back.
Martina says she started it for fun, but she caught the bug and she's on module 2 and she can't wait to start module 3.
Brilliant.
And Alice says she's on the spring workshop at the moment, that she booked onto the spring workshop.
I know Alison. She's been sending on lovely stuff, she has.
She wasn't sure how the online would work. She didn't believe you could learn anything online being flower arranging. So she booked it on with the special offer on the spring workshop, and she already has booked onto module 1.
Oh, that's
she says
fantastic.
She can't get over how
I have to say it's great crowd over on the spring workshop. They're actually that nice. I should only be going live in the spring bloom room on a Monday once a week for the 4 weeks. And sure, I'm going back in on a Tuesday and I'm going back in at night and can't resist them. They're a fabulous crowd. And they're from America, Australia, all parts of the UK, and are typical Irish as well. Like, it's absolutely mad. Now, what am I using? These are just, when I say just, okay, they're artificial flowers, faux flowers. All wholesalers sell them. And again, evergreen silk plants up in RD County Louth. Somebody might tag them there in the comments. They have a fabulous range. So these artificial hydrangeas, they came like 2 on a stem. So what I just did was I just cut the plastic stem, okay? I pulled off the leaf, and the reason I done that was just so that it gave me a longer stem. And all I'm doing here is I'm basically forcing the stem down in among the greenery, down into the twig ring, just to kind of secure it in place. And I'm going to put 3 of these in.
On and she's tagging away. Thanks a million,
Fair play to you,
And
Celine.
just a quick reminder, anybody that, if they do want to keep up to date with what we're doing, post the word link in the comments and we'll send you a link where you can join and subscribe to our mailing list, so that if Instagram, Facebook go down like they did yesterday, you won't be left stuck.
Absolutely. And remember to win the dried flower press from O'Neill's Flowers. All you have to do in the comments is let us know what is the baby Jesus' mammy's name. And this is all especially for Mother's Day. Sure, listen, she's the most famous mother in the world, isn't she? She's one of them. Our mammy, I suppose, is one of the most famous mothers. Everybody knows Mrs. K. And you know what? We have some real bad news. You're supposed to say, oh. No, it's even badder news than that. I know, this isn't funny, okay, because she's probably watching. Mrs. K had an accident there last night or the night before
last, yeah.
So, well, I think she was on the loo and she might have had a few drinks on her and she fell off the loo. But anyway, there is a different story coming through from Lanzarote. So, Dad said she fell in the bathroom, okay? So anyway, Mrs. K fell, hurt her arm, went to bed because she had a bit of her own local anaesthetic, I think, and it wasn't too bad, the pain. But obviously the next morning, a bit like Tyler, when the anaesthetic wore off, you know, that way, the natural anaesthetic, it was paining her. They went to the hospital yesterday and she actually has a broken arm and or broken wrist, and they think it might be broken in 2 places. So she's in plaster Paris over there at the moment. She's really feeling sorry for herself, and I'm sure now anybody that wants to send her a little bit of love there, you know, that way, be really appreciated. So
yeah, because she definitely needs a bit of cheering up.
She definitely needs. She is major pissed off because it's her right hand and she holds her Bacardi and Coke in her right hand and she keeps pouring the Bacardi in with the left hand. So now, like, she's in an awful thing. She can pour it in, but she can't actually drink. You know, that way. It's just, it's awful. It's an awful situation. Anyway, she'll kill me, she will. She's probably watching Sarah saying, that feckin' bitch. So you can see the way these again were artificial stems of flowers that we picked up in evergreen silk plants. I just love the colour of them. And again, I'm just forcing them down in among the foliage, you know, the way, and then the plastic stem, as soon as I feel the twig ring, I'm forcing it down into it.
Sean said get her a straw.
Do you know, that's what we'll do. And you know, we need to do a collection for plastic straws. Do you remember your one, Bernie Foley got us the plastic straws? Because I was having awful problems with the gin and tonic. But then paper straws, because obviously I'm a very slow drinker, and the paper straw was just going into mush in my mouth. So and it's very hard to get plastic straws, so she got me
the metal ones.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea, wouldn't it?
How would that work with the false? How would that work with the false teeth?
Oh Jesus, yeah, she might get her
or biting down on it. This is like an artificial, again, like foliage with a little bit of glitter on it. And again, I'm just kind of cutting it up, and I am giving it a good shove. In case you're saying, God, she's putting a lot of pressure on there. I'm shoving it down into the white twig ring, you know what I mean, that I originally started with. Again, it's just kind of like looking here. I'm not concentrating on what I'm doing because I was telling you the really sad story about Mammy's.
Suzanne says Janette, she's going to mangle you for saying all
She
that
will.
about
She'll
her.
absolutely batter me. She will. But she won't be. She only has one arm.
She has one arm. I hope
And
she's got a pink cast.
Yeah, I don't know what colour cast. Do you know what? That was something. Because I was slagging when I was in Lanzarote when I had me Nora Batty tights. I was saying I needed to get a pink pair. And I have to say, fair play to our followers. They got me the link for a pair of pink compression tights. So has anyone got a link out there for a pink, now it has to be for the right hand, okay? So this is my
sling.
A sling, right? We're looking for a nice pink glittery sling with, oh Mammy, feed me, no drink me, give me my straw, pour me another Bacardi and Coke. She absolutely adores Bacardi and Coke. She was finding the wine wasn't agreeing with her. But you know what, she never broke her arm when she was on the wine.
Gillian says, she's just completed Module 1. We better get off the subject or she is going to kill us. I've just completed Module 1 and she's doing Module 2. She says her only regret is she didn't do it sooner.
Ah, thanks a million, Gillian. I know Gillian, I see her coming up on the comments.
Frances says you can get reusable straws. Yeah, I actually think a pink reusable straw.
I think a pink reusable straw. So we might do, again, competition out there. See, can you find us some links for pink reusable straws? So that's what it looks like with the artificial kind of faux flowers going through it. Again, you could just leave it green if you want to. Now, again, we've seen this in the wholesalers. You know that we kind of fancied ourselves a little bit of this. What was the
swag?
Yeah. No, what was that dancing? The cha-cha dancing. Just kind of like feathers, like feather bow. So it actually is a roll of ribbon. Bought it in the wholesalers, and do you know, I think I'm just going to do a loop on it. I don't think I'm actually going to do a bow. So I'm going to cut a strip of it. I probably could do a stapler, and I probably can't find one, but it doesn't matter. And it's the other scissors. Hate them scissors. Everybody kept saying to me, oh, get them Japanese scissors. They're absolutely brilliant. I think they're absolutely crap. And one of the girls was on to me there the other day, and she actually gave herself a nasty cut, and I cut myself with them as well. So everybody thinks they're brilliant. I don't think they're great. I much prefer my old-fashioned.
You do like the pink scissors.
I do like, if I could get that handle on that scissors, you know what I mean? I do like the colour. Don't like the colour of that one. It always reminds me of McDonald's yellow, but I do prefer it as a scissors.
And Carmen Nolan said she called hers a bling sling.
A bling sling? A bling sling.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Now, I have 7 names here, okay? Of winners for the flower press.
Okay.
So
did they get the right name?
Yeah.
What was her name?
Maria.
Mary. So
Mary we had lots of different versions.
Well, so we were told.
You
know what I mean? We don't know when them 3 wise men arrived. You know, that sort of way. But so we were told. You know that. Like all the men, they arrive afterwards when the deed is done.
Okay, so I have 7 names. The names were flying up, so I wrote down 7 names. Janette, give me a number between 1 and 7.
Oh, you know it has to be number 2. Number 2 is my favourite number.
Number 2 is Flowers by Emma Rose.
Oh, down the Mayo. Fair. Do you know what? I could see her. She would definitely know. She probably had the Bible out researching
I'd say she had.
I'd say she did. Yeah, absolutely. I'd say she was in Mass this morning looking for inspiration. What was the baby Jesus' name? So there we go. There is our loop there. I'm going to do that instead of a bow. And there is our door wreath to cover the dirty hall door that I have at home that still has the broken glass. And now I have a house with 2 odd windows in the front of the house. Talk about the house that Jack built.
So Flowers by Emma Rose, just drop me an email with your address. So
I'd say Flowers by Emma Rose, County Mayo will probably get her.
Westport
probably get you, but just send us your address with your air code just in case, and we send that on to you. And should you know what?
And you know, does a Mammy Rose always help her out now?
Absolutely, I could see Mammy Rose sitting down there now drinking a Bacardi and Coke. With 2 arms, and she'd be well able to press down flowers. So there you go, Mammy Rose. If you're watching, that's going to be your Mother's Day present this year. Listen, everybody, thanks a million for joining in. Thanks for all the crack. Thanks for all the laughs. Again, anybody that's looking for the link so that you can subscribe to our mailing list, put the word link in the comments. What was the other thing that we said? Tyler's
YouTube.
Tyler's podcast for next Monday. Put the word reminder in the comments there, and we'll put the link then so that you can get the reminder for Tyler. That is going to be just such great fun. I was in the kitchen in Lanzarote when Deirdre was actually interviewing him, and I tell you, I was in knots of laughing over the other side of the room holding my bottle of Bacardi.
Emma Rose says vodka and Coke and a new job for her. And Celine has posted a link to a pink glitter sling.
There, you see, that's Celine. She'll always be the one that'll find the links. Fair play to you. So that's what our mum will be getting for Mother's Day: a pink glittery sling for her broken arm.
Yeah.
And a pink strap.
She can hide the bottle in it.
She can hide the bottle in the sling. Exactly. Thanks a million for joining us. Any questions on booking a course with us here at Case Fleur School? Better get a little bit of a plug in for ourselves here. Drop us an email, info@casefleurschool.com. Thanks a million, everyone. See you then. Bye bye.